Hello, this is Ron Climer from Climer School of Real Estate in Orlando, Florida. And I'm here to talk to you about how to pass the state exam the first time. Now, it costs $31 to take the exam. If you watch my last video on how to apply for a license, I told you how to apply for a license, get hooked up to take your state exam. Now, some people just study more than others, but here's the cold hard facts. 52% of the people pass the state exam the first time. 48% of them fail. Second time takers don't fare too well. 33% of them pass the second time. Well, obviously the ones that failed the first time are having a little struggle. Now, first thing you can do is go to a good school. Now, if you're in Orlando, that means Climer School of Real Estate. But if you're somewhere else, that's of course not an option. But think about it. Check around, call some real estate offices, call some people you know in the business. Ask them who's good, and don't ask them about the school, ask them about the instructor. It's the instructor that makes the difference. The school doesn't matter, it's the instructor. Who's the instructor? Has he been teaching for 6 weeks or, a long time? I think a long time is better if a person knows how to teach and knows what's on the state exam. Now, I've been teaching for 30 years, been studying the state exam for 30 years, and if you're in Orlando, come see me. That's our phone number right there. Now, if that's not the case, check around, see who's good. Now, if you've already been to sorry about that, my phone number fell down, but it's 407-822-3926. Now, if you've already been to school, or if you took it online where you kind of teach yourself, know this: the state exam is 45% law. That's things like RESPA, Consumer Credit Protection Act, how many members of the FREC, what's the mix of the FREC, what can the FREC do, what's the maximum punishment, stuff like that. 45% is what they call principles and practice. That's stuff like legal descriptions and how subdivisions are laid out and different things like that. So spend your time accordingly. Now 10% is math. Now you got to get the math right. Watch my math videos. If you do my math videos, if you watch my math videos, the ones where I'm wearing the red shirt are right out of the book. They're chapter 14. They're filmed live in one of my classrooms. The ones where I'm wearing the blue shirt, those are questions specifically from the state exam. By the way, I had this question that's been on the exam for many, many, many years, but it disappeared. But it showed back up just recently, and I couldn't remember how to do it. I had to call my old friend Nancy Pinnell, who has retired, and ask her how to do it. She sent me an email. Actually, I could do it backward from the answers. But it says a man bought 3 houses for a total of $44,000. The second one cost $6,000 more than the first. The third one was $4,000 more than the second. What's the price of the first? That's on the state exam, and the answer to that is on my blog at ronclimer.blogspot.com. So if you don't know how to do it, check that out. You need to know how to do that question. It's shown back up, and it seems to be there pretty prolifically. Another thing you can do to study is make flashcards. Now, people ask me, Ron, why don't you sell flashcards? Because making the flashcards is half the fun. That's why it's half the learning experience. Now, if you went to Climer School of Real Estate, we use what we call the Fat Book. And in the Fat Book, that's our regular textbook, we use a regular textbook. There's a 100-question test in the back. Do that 100-question test. Now, if you came to Climer School of Real Estate, we encourage you to buy the $20 Skinny Book, which is the book that we use for the state exam review that we do. And there's 400 questions in the back of that. By the time you do those 500 questions, you got a pretty good grip what's going on. Now, if you went to a school where the instructor didn't do the questions at the end of the chapter, go back to the end of the chapter in your Fat Book and do those questions. If you don't have the answers, call Kathy at that number and she'll give you the answers. And also, if you went to a school where they didn't, yeah, we got that. Now, best thing you could do, as I said, is come to my review if you're anywhere near Orlando. Come to my 2-day review. We spend 2 days just bam, bam, bam. Here's the way it is on the test. There's no jokes, there's no stories. I miss that, but there's just me telling you how to pass the exam. Now, if you can't make it to my exam, I can understand that. So what I did, I went down to the classroom about 6 months ago. I went down there all day Saturday, all day Sunday, by myself, and I did the review to an empty room. Well, it wasn't really totally empty. I had a digital recorder in the room, and I recorded my class. I put it on audio disc. I have it available for sale at $45. You can call Kathy at that number right there and she'll mail it to you. It follows the skinny book. So if you have the skinny book, you just follow along, or best thing to do it, just stick it in the dash of the car and listen to it about 40 times. One of my students called me the other day. He said, Ron, when I got to the test, he said, I'd read a question and I would hear your voice telling me the answer. Well, he'd definitely been listening a little too much, but that's okay. Now, if you can't do any of those things, I got one last suggestion for you. Call Kathy and get one of the Climer School of Real Estate refrigerator magnets. What it is a good luck charm. I got an article about it on Blogspot. Check it out. But what you do, you take this to the exam with you, and it'll just bring you good luck. You can always use a little luck. Now, if you take this to the exam, you walk out of the exam, you passed. Good, you're in a good mood, you're happy. But you get out there in the parking lot and there's some poor guy out there crying. I want you to walk up to him, give him the magnet and say, here buddy, here's a good luck charm. Good luck next time. Because your odds are 33% with or without the magnet. Good luck. Call me if we can help you. Check out my website. There's our number if you need us for anything. Stay in touch.